Casper Van Dien and Alice Lucy, who are the stars of the, I guess it's played festivals, so I can't really say it's upcoming, but it is. In 2 weeks, Fathom Events is showing Mad Heidi, and I was lucky enough to see it through a screener a couple of weeks ago. And hilarious film. I hope that's what you intended. So I got to ask you both. What's the first thing that goes through your mind when you get a script that is called Mad Heidi?
Miss Heidi,
Well,
that was Lucy.
yeah. First thing I needed to think, was it mad as in crazy or mad as in angry? And then you read the synopsis and you read the script, and you still really don't know. I think it's up for interpretation. But no, first thoughts for me were just that it's utterly bonkers, and actually it sounds like a lot of fun. And let's make something fun that makes people laugh.
Casper, you?
Well, I read Mad Heidi, and I didn't realize it until right now that I'm the mad of Mad Heidi. So my character is insane, but it's in the greatest way. I had so much fun playing this. I think this was one of the most fun times I've had on a set as an actor. It was a thrill to be a part of it. Everybody was so excited to be there. I was reading this script, and I loved the Starship Troopers references that they had, and I loved all the details that they put into, and that this was all funded by fans, and that they were all, some of them were extras and some of them were in the crew. It was a really just a wonderful experience. And Alice was amazing to have your lead actress, your lead actor in the film come across as, she was so professional, loving, supportive, and kind to everyone. And that's just the best way to be. So we had a great time.
Wow. How familiar, Alice, were you with the source material? I realized watching it, the only thing I remembered was dimly seeing the Shirley Temple movie a couple of times as a kid, and a lot of it still tracked. That was very bizarre to me. But how about you?
So I was actually read the Joanna Spyri book as one of my bedtime stories growing up. So I was quite familiar with the story, and I used to I lived in Scotland at the time and used to walk around the mountains with my dog, and my family used to nickname me Heidi for a while. So I was quite familiar and very pleased to see it come through in this reimagined version.
Well, how much of it did influence you in your creating the character, or your take on the character?
I think for me, a lot of what the original Heidi story was about heart and about finding your people and about standing up for what you believe in. So I wanted to make sure that those sort of components and layers were still present within, a dystopian Swissploitation grindhouse film, because actually that's the core of who she is. And so, yeah, I really just held on to that and then made sure that I planted that in the world that she's in.
Okay, and Casper, for you, how much freedom? You obviously had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun watching you. How much freedom did you have in creating that character of President Melee?
Well, they wrote a great character. So I was thrilled with what they did, and it was easier for me. And they directed me in a great way. But I got to work with I had been working on a dialect coach for a German accent for another film, and then that got pushed, and this one came up, and it was Swiss German. So I switched over to that and worked on that for a month or two. And then when I got there, sometimes I would talk to the guy, and I was like, well, he's like, well, that's, do it like this. And so I do it. And then I go, what if I did a little like this? He goes, well, that kind of sounded like Tommy Wiseau. And I was like, great. And then he goes, well, that kind of sounded like Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I go, perfect.
Oh,
So,
many times. That's what I thought. Yeah.
so I was doing, when I did this, I was like, how much fun can I have? And they said, Casper, have as much fun as you want. And I went, okay, you're asking for it. And I came, and they just let me, like, even when I did the scene with Kenorley and I had to come in and go, just fucking with ya. They let me go bonkers crazy. But I looked up, and even in that room, there was the poster of me, not poster, a painting of me that they had painted fighting a bear with a ripped t-shirt and blood all over in Kenorley's office. And I was like, that's me. And that's what I got to be. And so I wanted to be everything that was that. And I got to be, I had so much fun with it. I can't tell you.
Where in your house now is that painting hanging?
It would have been right there, but the director got it. So
Oh,
I'm
okay.
so jealous. I really wanted it. I was like,
that is tragic.
it was, because he asked me to sign it to him. So I was like, of course I'll sign it for you. So I signed it to him, but I was like, I really, really, of all the movies I've done, only prop I wanted, and I didn't get it. They've offered me on other ones, and I was like, that's okay. But this one, I was like, it was
Yeah.
so.
So as you were having so much fun for both of you, what was like, if there's a memory you're going to carry, the single most fun, that's probably too hard to say, but one of the most fun moments you had on set?
Well, I think you're right. There are too many. There are too many to say, and I think I've been asked this question quite a few times over the press sort of junket that we've done, and I always say a different one because I always then go away and go, oh, I wish I'd said this one. I wish I'd said this one. So today, let me think. I think for me, we one of the days that we had the most fun was on the night shoot that we had. There's the scene that we do the night shoot in is the scene where Heidi smashes the accordion into the guard's face and it sort of pops out. But we were shooting that at 3-4 in the morning, and I think it just kind of hit us all whilst we were all drenched in blood at 4 in the morning outside a post office, that we were making something absolutely bonkers, and we just laughed all the time in between takes. It was just pure laughter because it was so surreal what we were actually doing when you think of it logically. It just, we had so much fun that night.
Casper, how about you? I mean, so many moments.
There were so many. First of all, you come onto a set like that and you meet this actress. It's her first film, and she's nailing it, and she's kind. And my wife and I fell in love with her right away. We just thought she was wonderful, and she was kind to everybody, and she is who she is, and she's straightforward. And so that was one of the joys of doing a film, is coming on and having somebody that is that excited and doing such a great job. And then I got to see an old friend, an old actor who was her grandfather in this. He and I had worked together in a movie, and so that was so much fun. And then just that scene that I talked about, doing it with Kennerly in there, would have been my favorite scene that I got to do. Another one. Oh, I did love Sniffing Alice. I did love that one. That was fun. That scene was so blast because I just got to do stuff, because I was like, hey, is it okay if I come in and put my shoes on the thing and then just like, oh yeah, and this like I'm enjoying everything. Oh, it's not so bad.
Sliders,
yeah, not so bad. Like
those sliders that you wear in that scene. Number one, hilarious choice. But I was in Zurich for the film festival when it screened there, and they sold those sliders in the tourist information office.
That's so great. I wish I had that outfit. I would have done the interview in them. I literally cannot tell you how much fun this was. I just hope everybody goes to the Fathom event and sees it. I'm going to go to St. Petersburg and see it with some of the guys that I went to military school with and my family and stuff like that, because there's going to be a theater there. So I'm just going to catch it there. They're all over, but I'm just so excited. It's going to be in the States and Canada on the 21st.
That's the date. All right. What's your personal stance on the lactose intolerance?
Well, I am lactose intolerant, but it's so funny that my character is fighting against lactose intolerance. So it just happened to work out that way. It also worked for Starship Troopers. I'm also allergic to bees and red ants. So, the only good bug's a dead bug. And that's Johnny Rico's Achilles heel, and lactose is actually Miley's Achilles heel, even though he's fighting against it.
So is there another kryptonite you're going to tackle in a future role?
I have no idea. I don't know if I have any others, so I hope not. I mean, I hope I don't have any others. So
now your career has crossed a lot of different genres. So what's your favorite type of role to play?
The next one?
Sure. Good actor answer.
I love being on films. I love being on set. It's infectious, and I feel more alive when I'm on a set, and I feel like I'm a better father, husband, son, friend when I'm actually doing what I love, which is acting and talking about it and doing this. So, for me, I don't know if I mean, I watch Westerns the most. So I'll be honest, I love Westerns. So I'm a cowboy, and I love being I love doing that. Love riding horses. Love everything about being a cowboy. So
now, a horse versus, if IMDb is right, you are the only Tarzan to actually ride an African elephant
in a film. Now I don't know if any of the Tarzans have ridden it afterwards, but At the time, that was the truth. And there's a reason, because African elephants are not as docile as Indian elephants. And if you put them on an Indian elephant, what they did sometimes is they put the fake ears on them.
Mm-hmm.
I am the only Tarzan to ride on an African elephant in a film, which was crazy.
Well, okay. So what's on the horizon for both of you? Because Alice, you mentioned being part of Swissploitation, and I've got to ask: are there any other films in the Swissploitation genre? Because I'm not familiar.
No, so Mad Heidi is the inaugural Swissploitation film. Johannes and Sandro are big fans of exploitation films, and they wanted to pay homage to their own country by creating the world's first Swissploitation film. So they have, I think, done a cracking job of introducing the world to Swissploitation with Mad Heidi.
Yes, indeed. So June 21st, Fathom Events, Mad Heidi. Please, people, go see it nationwide and Canada, right? I think, Casper, you said Canada as well. So a lot of fun. Thank you so much for taking some time today to talk with me, and had a lot of fun. Good luck with this film, and hope to see more of both of you in film in the future.
Oh, you too, Dan.
Thank you so
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Please hit the subscribe button to make sure you don't miss out on any Fanboy Planet video content. And visit fanboyplanet.com for other features, reviews, interviews, previews, and of course, listening to the Fanboy Planet podcast. And remember, use your powers for good.